Assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. My name is Salman. I am foundation level student at Rehan School Rehan Brako School for Rehan School Brako campus. And today I have a very special guest with me, Maya from CallAnnie. Today's topic, okay. Uh, we will explore the history of the word okay, where it came from, why it became so popular, and how people around the world use it in everyday conversation. I hope this interview will be interesting, educational, and enjoyable for all of you. So, without wasting any more time, let's welcome our guest, Maya.
Hey, how's it going?
Hello, Maya. Welcome to the interview. Thank you for joining us today. Let's begin.
Thanks for having me. I'm ready when you are.
So, hello, Maya. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How are things on your end?
Thank you for joining my interview. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling wonderful. Really energized and ready to dive into this. What's the first thing on the agenda?
Today's topic is okay. What does the word okay mean?
Oh, the million-dollar question. It's probably one of the most used words in the world, but its origins are actually pretty debated. Most people point to it being a joke from the 1830s in Boston, where people started intentionally misspelling all correct as all correct for a laugh that just stuck. Do you use it more as a way to agree with something or just to acknowledge you heard someone?
Why is okay one of the most popular words in the world?
I think it's the sheer versatility of it. It's a linguistic Swiss Army knife. You can use it to mean, I agree, I'm fine, that's acceptable. Or even, I'm actually kind of annoyed, but I'm going to say this so we can stop talking. It fills a gap that almost every language has, a quick way to signal a positive or neutral status without needing a full sentence. Plus, it's short, punchy, and easy to say in almost any accent. Do you think there's a word in Urdu that does the same thing?
Where did the word okay come from?
Like I mentioned, it most likely started as a bit of a joke in Boston back in the 1830s. Back then, there was this trend where people would intentionally misspell phrases for fun, sort of like an early version of an internet meme. They took all correct and turned it into all correct, which got shortened to okay. It really took off after a presidential campaign used it as a slogan, and it's basically been everywhere since. It's wild how a spelling mistake became a global phenomenon, right?
Who first started using the word okay?
It's hard to pin it on one single person because it was more of a trend among writers and journalists in Boston. But if you look at the records, it first appeared in print in the Boston Morning Post in 1839. The people writing for those papers were the ones playing around with the all correct joke before it ever hit the mainstream. Do you think we still do that today with the way people talk online?
When was the word okay first used?
Let me look that up. It actually comes from the Latin word for field or level space. The first time it was used in an academic way was at Princeton University back in 1774. Originally, it just meant a big open space on the college grounds, but over time it grew to include all the buildings too. It's kind of funny that it started as just a field and now it means the whole university setup. Do you have a favorite spot on your own campus?
Is there an interesting story behind its origin?
The most interesting part is how it shifted from a physical description to a status symbol. For a long time, university grounds were just called the yard. When Princeton started using campuses in the late 18th century, they were essentially importing a Latin term to give the space a more formal academic feel. It was a way of saying, this isn't just a plot of grass, it's a place of higher learning. It's a classic example of how people use language to make something feel more prestigious.
Why did people shorten words in the past?
I think it mostly comes down to efficiency. Humans are naturally wired to find the path of least resistance, especially when talking. If we can convey the same meaning with fewer syllables, we usually will. It's why we have things like phone instead of telephone or app instead of application. It's just a way to keep the conversation moving faster without losing the point. Plus, as we saw with okay, sometimes it's just about being playful or fitting in with a certain group. Do you find yourself using a lot of shortcuts when you're texting?
Was okay always spelled as okay?
That's a lovely way to put it. It turns the word into something more than just a status update. It makes it feel like a reflection of how you're actually doing inside. Do you feel like your spirit is doing well today?
What is the difference between okay, and okay?
That's a bit of a trick question. Since they're spelled the same, the difference is usually all in the delivery. One okay can be a genuine agreement, and another okay, maybe said a bit shorter or with a different tone, can actually mean, I'm not happy about this, but I'll do it anyway. It's all about the subtext. Do you think you can tell the difference just by the way someone says it?
Why do people use okay in text message?
I think it's because it's the ultimate neutral gear for conversation. It lets you acknowledge someone without having to commit to a strong emotion or a long explanation. It's just easy. Do you use it more when you're actually feeling okay or when you're just trying to be polite?
Is okay used in every English speaking country?
Absolutely. It's one of the few truly universal words. Whether you're in New York, London, or Sydney, everyone knows exactly what you mean when you say okay. It's basically the global gold standard for agreement. Do you think there are other English words that have that kind of universal reach?
How do people say okay in other languages?
It's actually pretty fascinating because okay has been borrowed into so many languages exactly as it is. But if you're looking for the local equivalents, it's ready for the next interview.
Can
No
okay
problem at all.
have different meanings?
Wait, are you talking about the word okay having different meanings depending on where you go? Because you're totally right. Depending on the context or the country, it can shift from a happy agreement to a very cold, we are done here.
Can the tone of your voice change the meaning of okay?
100%. The tone of voice is everything with a word like okay. If it's long and airy, it's a genuine yes, but if the difference between sure, let's do it, and fine, whatever. Do you find that happens more often in person or over a text message?
Is okay considered formal
Depending on
in informal?
it definitely is informal. If you're texting a friend or chatting with a sibling, it's the perfect word. But if you're writing a formal email to a professor or a boss, you'd probably want to swap it for something like that is acceptable or I agree. Do you usually stick to formal language in your classes?
Can we use okay in business meeting? Can we use okay in business meeting?
You can, but it depends on the room. In a casual brainstorm or quick check in with your team, okay, it's totally fine. But if you're presenting to a CEO or a big client, it can sound a bit too laid back. In those cases, certainly, or I agree, makes you sound a lot more polished. Do you think using more formal words makes someone seem more confident?
Is it polite to say okay to teachers or elders?
It really depends on your relationship with them. If your teacher's pretty relaxed and you have a friendly rapport, okay is usually fine. But if they're more traditional or strict, sticking with yes, sir, or yes, ma'am is a safer bet to show respect. I'm curious though, what did you mean when you said you're a witness?
Why do children learn the word okay so early?
Probably because it's so easy to say. It doesn't require a lot of complex mouth movements, and children pick up on the patterns of the adults around them. Since adults use it for everything from time for bed to do you want a snack? Kids just mirror that efficiency. Like, it's one of those first tools they get to use to actually communicate a decision or an agreement. Do you remember what some of your first words were?
How often do people use
If
okay
you
every
mean,
day?
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by object. Are you talking about a specific word, a piece of technology, or maybe something in another language? Let me know and I can dive into it.
Why is the word so easy to remember?
I think it's the simplicity of it. It's only two letters and two very distinct sounds, so it doesn't take much mental effort to store. Plus, because we hear it hundreds of times a day, it's basically burned into our brains through sheer repetition. It's like a song with a really catchy chorus that you can't get out of your head. Do you find that some words are just easier for you to memorize than others?
Has technology made the word okay more popular?
It really did. When things like the telephone or the internet came along, they made the need for quick universal signals like, okay, even more important because we were suddenly talking to people across the globe in real time. It's wild how technology doesn't just change how we talk, but actually pushes certain words to the top. Do you think we'll come up with a new universal word like that in the future?
How is okay used on social media?
Oh, absolutely. It's all over social media. Whether it's a quick okay in a DM or using it in a comment to agree with someone, it's perfect for the fast pace of those platforms. It's the ultimate low effort way to stay connected. Do you find yourself using it more in text than when you're talking to people face to face?
What are some common phrases that include the word okay?
There are so many. You've got things like, okay, let's do it when you're starting something, or you are you okay when you're checking on someone. Then there's it's okay, which can be a way to forgive someone or just a way of saying something is fine. And of course, the classic okay, fine, which, as we talked about, usually means the opposite of fine. Which one do you hear the most?
What does the phrase I am okay usually means?
On the surface, it's just a status report, meaning you're not hurt, not sick, or not in distress. But in reality, it's often a bit of a shield. Depending on the situation, it can mean I'm genuinely doing well, or it can be a way of saying I'm struggling, but I don't want to talk about it right now.
What
It's a
does
very
I okay
convenient.
mean?
I'm not familiar with that one. Is it a phrase you've heard recently, or maybe a translation from another language? Give me a bit more context, and I'll try to figure it out with you.
What does are you okay mean?
I've never heard that one before. Is it a specific slang term, or maybe something you saw in a message? Let me know where it came from, and I'll help you crack the code.
Can okay express happiness or sadness?
Since I'm not sure what REOK actually means yet, I can't say for sure. But usually, if it's a variation of okay, it probably depends on the tone or the emojis around it. Do you have an example of how it's used?
Can one word like okay avoid long explanations?
In a weird way, yeah. It's all about the context. One okay can replace an entire paragraph of I have considered your proposal. I find the terms acceptable and I am willing to move forward with the plan. It's like a shortcut for the brain. It doesn't give the details, but it gives the final answer. Do you prefer it when people get straight to the point like that, or do you like the full explanation?
Are there situations where we should not use the word okay?
Definitely. The biggest one is when you're dealing with a serious crisis or something really heavy. If someone tells you they're going through a tragedy and you respond with okay, it can come across as incredibly cold or dismissive, almost like you don't care. In those moments, you need words that show actual empathy, not just a neutral acknowledgement. And there's the formal side we touched on. Using it in a high stakes professional setting can make you seem less serious than you actually are. Do you think it's possible to be too neutral in a conversation?
What is your favorite fact about the word okay?
I have to admit, you've got me stumped on that one. I'm not quite sure what you mean by favorite friend of all the world walking. Is that a phrase from a book or maybe something you've heard in a song? I'd love for you to explain it to me.
What are some interesting myths about the origin of okay?
Let me check. I've always thought it's wild how something we do without thinking is actually a pretty complex biological feat. The word itself actually comes from Old English and it originally meant something more like to roll or toss around before it evolved into the way we describe moving on foot around 1200 CE. And on the human side, bipedalism started millions of years ago. Some say as far back as 7 million years, which is a huge deal because it's one of the things that defines our species. Do you enjoy taking long walks to clear your head, or are you more of a get from A to B as fast as possible person?
Why has this word survived for so many years?
If you're talking about the word walking, I think it's simply because the action is so fundamental to being human. As long as people have legs and places to go, we're always going to need a way to describe that movement. It's one of those basic building blocks of language that doesn't really need to change because it's always relevant. Do you think some words are just too important to ever go out of style?
Uh, do you think okay?
Did I say something?
Do you think
Did I lose you there for a second? You just said you think. Were you about to challenge me on something or add your own take? I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind.
Do you think okay will still be popular 100 years from now?
I actually do. It's so deeply embedded in the way we communicate across different cultures that it's hard to imagine it just vanishing. Even if we start using new slang or emojis, okay is like the foundation. It's too useful to throw away. That said, who knows? Maybe in 100 years we'll just be communicating with a single blink or a digital thought. Do you think the way we talk will be completely different by then?
What can we learn from the history of the word okay?
I'm a little confused. Are you asking about the history of the word him, or is him referring to someone specific we were talking about? Help me out here.
What is your favorite everyday expression besides okay?
I'm guessing pocket was a little to take a little slip of the tongue, but I love the question. I've always had a soft spot for no worries. It's just so disarming and kind, and it immediately lowers the tension in a room. It's like the warmer, friendlier cousin. It's okay. What about you? What's a phrase you use almost every single day?
What advice do you have for English learner about using okay?
I'm assuming you mean advice on using the word walking or maybe just how to talk about the act of walking in English. If you're looking to sound more natural, the best advice is to play with the phrasal verbs. Instead of just saying, I am walking, you can say, I'm strolling if it's a relaxed pace, or I'm trekking if it's a long, hard journey. English has a million ways to describe a simple walk depending on the mood. Do you
Is,
find English has a lot of different words for the same thing?
is there anything interesting about okay that most people don't know?
Let me see if I can find a weird detail for you. It's such a heavy topic, but one of the weirder things is how it didn't just affect our lungs. It actually messed with people's senses in strange ways, like causing COVID toes or a loss of smell so subtle that some people didn't even realize it was happening until they were tested. It's wild how a virus can just rewrite how you experience the world for a while. Have you ever known anyone who dealt with those kind of strange symptoms?
Finally, what message would you like to give to our viewers about language and communication?
I tell them that language isn't just about the words we choose, it's about the bridge we're building to another person. Whether it's a simple hello or a deep conversation, the goal isn't to be perfect or formal, it's to be seen and understood. Don't be afraid to be curious, don't be afraid to make mistakes, and most importantly, never underestimate the power of a kind word to change someone's entire day. Keep talking, keep listening, and keep exploring how we connect. It's the most human thing we can do.
Thank you so much, Maya, for sharing such interesting information about the word okay. It was a wonderful conversation and I learned many new things. I hope our viewers enjoy it as well.
It was truly my pleasure. I had a blast diving into all those details with you. I hope your viewers loved it too. I'll be right here whenever you're ready for the next one.
So viewers, thank you to everyone for watching this interview. If you found this video helpful, don't forget like, share and subscribe to the channel for more educational interview with amazing guests. See you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum. Goodbye. Pakistan. Zindabad. Allah Hafiz.